In this video, we're going through 7 tips that I use to get the cheapest flights that I can. Welcome back to What If, the channel where we inspire you to do awesome things by trying out awesome things ourselves. So anybody that knows me knows that I love to travel. Last year, I spent over 3 months on the road, and the year before was the same. As a result, I've gotten really good at getting them for cheap. Now, today I'm going to show you the 7 tricks that I use to get that as cheap as possible. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you 2 other tricks that I've never tried, but that I'm going to be using in the near future. Tip number 1, be flexible on the dates that you travel. Never just pin yourself down to just one specific day that you have to fly and then one other day where you have to fly home. The wider of a window you can have to fly in, the more likely you are to get extremely cheap flights. So stay really flexible. Also, plan ahead. Know when it's cheapest to fly to the area you're going. If you're going somewhere tropical, winter months are probably going to be a little hotter than the dead of summer. So kind of plan around that. Know the area you're going to, do some research, and keep it flexible. The more flexible you are with dates, the more likely you get a really good deal. Tip number 2, use a flight search engine. Now, what a flight search engine is an app, or a lot of times it's just a website that you go to, and it searches through hundreds of different airlines and different flight companies, and it shows you all these deals in a row. It does all the searching for you so you don't have to. My go-to is always Skyscanner. I love it. They allow you to search by day. They allow you to search in a month, and they'll show you the price on each individual day. Makes it really easy to find cheap ones. They will let you put alerts on a flight, and they will send you a notification anytime that flight price drops. I've also used Hopper a lot, and I've used Google Flights here and there, but Skyscanner is my favorite. They do a really good job. Alright, tip number 3 is to get your flights 4 to 6 weeks before the flight leaves. It can be kind of scary because that's putting it up pretty close to when you're leaving, but if you keep things flexible and you do it right, it works really well. When we flew into the United Kingdom, I bought my tickets 5 weeks before we left, and I paid $350 round trip to fly into Scotland and home out of London. The 4 to 6 window is the sweet spot, but if you're going to favor one side of it, always buy it early and not late. Late is always expensive. Tip number 4 is to pick the right days of the week to fly. This is one reason why I like Skyscanner so much. You can see all the numbers in a row for how much it costs to fly each day of the week. And certain days of the week, middle of the week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, tend to be the cheapest. People want to fly out on a Friday and try to be back to work by Monday, so Fridays and Sundays tend to be the most expensive, but the middle of the week days are almost always the cheapest. So when you fly, try to fly on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. You'll have a much better time than trying to fly on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Tip number 5, avoid flying around holidays. If you are flying home for Christmas, you know how expensive it is. And while these tips will help, they'll never make flying home around Christmas time that much less expensive. It's just expensive to fly around a holiday. So try to avoid it whenever it's possible. Tip number 6 is to search for your flights in an incognito browser. This means that those websites don't have any access to any history that you've been searching for these flights before. Now, a lot of times when they know you've been looking at these specific tickets, they'll up the price on you because they know you're interested. Before you actually purchase the tickets, always check them in an incognito browser, and you might save yourself a bunch of money. Also, do some research. Don't just search at one place for the tickets. If you use Skyscanner, look at Hopper, look at Google Flights, see if they have anything better. Sometimes different companies have better deals with the airline and they just get cheaper flights. And you'll never know unless you're looking and doing the research. Tip number 7 is to just don't overpack. I see too many people going on flights and going for less than a week and taking 2 suitcases. You just need what you can fit on your back. If you can put everything into a backpack, number 1, you don't have to pay luggage fees which can be $35 to $50 easily per bag that goes under the plane. And number two, you just get to walk off the plane when you're done. It's much faster. So save yourself a lot of money and pack light. Alright guys, as promised, here's my last two. Tip number 8 and 9. I've never used either of these. Tip number 8. Use airline points. I think part of me is a little bit scared of credit cards and all that other weird complicated stuff. I'm only like half an adult anyway. But I've never used them. I have friends who use those to fly for so cheap. They'll save them up and get free flights all over the world. And I just haven't done it yet. I just haven't jumped on that train for some reason. Tip number 9. Now this is what's called a hidden city flight. What that means is that instead of booking a flight to your destination, you're going to book a flight almost like one leg of the journey further with a layover in the place you actually want to go. So if I was going to Salt Lake City, I would book a flight to San Francisco, and then on the layover in Salt Lake City I would get off and just let it keep going. Now this can get you cheaper flights. It only comes into play sometimes, but every little bit helps. Getting cheap flights is not a one-tip thing. I can't just give you one trick and you're going to get super cheap flights. It's using all of these together. You will save a lot of money. Comment below if you have any others I didn't mention here, because I love saving money. Thank you for watching, and if you liked it, like the video below, and if you want more, subscribe. There's going to be a lot of videos coming out like this, and a lot of adventures of us actually using a lot of these principles to go all over the world and try all kinds of crazy things. So subscribe if you want more. But that's it from me. I love you guys.